Good afternoon and welcome to the Dr. Allen W. Sugarman Sports Complex. My name is Tommy Aquilina. I will be your play-by-play man today as the Fort Lee Bridgman boys soccer team hosts the Morris Knolls Golden Eagles in round one of the NJSIAA state tournament. Section 1, Group 3. This is the first round, and you see both teams lining up on the field and speaking to the officials. We should be set to go in hopefully no more than a couple minutes here. The rules have been gone over for both teams. You have the hosting Fort Lee Bridgman on the left side of your screen right now, wearing their home black kits with orange and gray accenting. And the Golden Eagles wearing their road whites with, it almost looks like turquoise, not really green or blue, numbering and lettering. For the Golden Eagles, Demba Maines Bridgman hosting a state playoff game for the first time since COVID. Not yet in the 2020s decade have they done so, but here they do in the 2024-25 season and school year. Fort Lee went 12-3 this year between the regular season and the Bergen County tournament. 7-1 in the Big North American division for a division title, and they now host a state playoff game. They did lose in the second round after getting a first round bye to Mawa in the Bergen County tournament. We were on the call for that game. That was a 2-1 win for the Thunderbirds in overtime. Now Fort Lee, the 8 seed in the 16-team Section 1 Group 3 of the NJSIAA tournament, hosting the number 9 team, the Morris Knolls Golden Eagles. Mike Mugavero's squad came in second place in their division, the NJAC National Division, second out of 7 teams at 8-4. They went 14-7 overall. They won 2 rounds in the Bergen County tournament, beating Jefferson and Dover before losing in the quarterfinal round on October 14th. That was a 2-1 loss at Del Barton. Okay, so now that they're closer to me and sort of outside of the glare of the lights, it's definitely green numbering we can see for the Golden Eagles, which I think makes sense. So they're wearing their white kits with green numbering. In goal, wearing his pink goalkeeper kit, will be number 1, Angelo Diasti. He's played in goal, according to NJ.com, in all 21 of Mike Mugavero's squad's games. Diasti with 186 saves on the year, according to NJ.com, and he's also picked up 1 assist on the season. So he's having a great year. He will start for the Golden Eagles, along with number 3, Thomas Becht, number 7, Anthony Delgado, their leading goal scorer and their leading assist man. Number 21, Michael DiCongilio. Number 18, Kevin Doyle. Number 16, Robert Genoble. Number 24, Ben Priestner. Number 10, Jackson Robinson. Number 4, Hayden Coate. Number 9, Liam Coviello. And number 17, Jefferson Zapata. And now you see the Fort Lee Bridgman setting up as well. Elias Alkin wearing his pink kit. Fort Lee likes to wear pink during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but October is now over. We're in November already, my goodness. So here on November 4th, Fort Lee wearing their typical home black, gray, and orange kits. Number 1 wearing pink, Elias Alkin in goal for the Bridgman. The senior goalkeeper with 36 saves on the season to lead the team, and we are underway. The Bridgmen, you'll notice, are now going the opposite way of their benches. They will be going right to left on your screen here in the first half. That'll be 40 minutes. We're about 15 seconds in right now. So 40 minutes in the half, then we'll have a brief intermission, which might need to be a little briefer than normal, depending on the light situation. And then we'll have a second 40-minute half. Speaking of Angelo D'Asti, he has it now for the Golden Eagles. They've won 4 in a row, all of those regular season matches. Fort Lee also playing well. The Bridgemen have won 3 in a row. 12-3 on the season, the Bridgemen are, and they're trying to make something happen here. I guess you could call that a shot on a hop. D'Asti handles it. You saw number 9, Landon Kaplan, in the area. He now backs up closer to D'Asti for the Bridgemen. Is number 15, Russell Kim, but he also backs off now. The Bridgemen have it here, looking to make something happen. This should be Emmanuel Nitkin chasing after it. And we have a whistle. Nitkin, number 7, unable to get to that one. D'Asti getting us started about 2 minutes into this one, and that was chased after by Thomas Becht, but it goes out of play. It was off of Fort Lee. So the Golden Eagles will get a throw-in. Long throw-in, goes all the way to the net, basically, and Ilias Alkin is there. I don't think he'll get credit for a save, but a fantastic play for Alkin with Delgado right there. Going to have to watch out for him for sure. I mentioned Delgado leads the Golden Eagles in goals, leads them in assists with 9, and with 13, he is the Golden Eagles' only double-digit goal scorer. Fort Lee has one double-digit goal scorer as well. That is Lucian Yu with 15 goals. Chasing after it now is Ben Priestner. It goes out of play. That was Priester who launched it on the throw-in before, with Alkin handling it. A throw-in here for Fort Lee, and we're going to have another throw-in. This will be handled by Morris Knolls, and it'll be Becht throwing in. Becht is second on the team with 8 goals and second on the team with 8 assists. Throws that one in. Priestner tried to head it down. It goes out of play, but it looks like it goes out of play off of his Bridgeman counterpart. Another throw-in, kind of a rainbow throw, and once again, Ilias Alkin rises above everybody to handle it with 2 hands. Tries to get it to Nitkin. It goes over his head. Nitkin trying to stay in the play. 18, Karem Ozcan going after it. This is Nitkin just over the goal. Just over the goal. D'Asti had no chance at it. Goes just over the top crossbar, and we remain tied 0-0 a little more than 4 minutes into this one. D'Asti gets himself set. First match of the year here in the month of November for either of these teams. First round of the NJSIAA tournament. A player on Fort Lee kind of headed it right into a player on Morris Knolls. Leading pass for Nitkin. Nitkin fighting with a defender, and it is knocked out of play by Michael DiCongilio. Good defensive play there by him. Nitkin is off to a fast start. Are the Bridgemen going to have a corner kick? No, it's going to be a throw-in. Number 9, Landon Kaplan, will do the honors. Centering pass. Got to the box. No real shot at a shot there. Nitkin will take a shot, and that is saved by D'Asti. Emmanuel Nitkin among the team leaders this year for Fort Lee with 5 goals and 13 total points. In soccer, you get 2 points for a goal and 1 for an assist. Diasti sends it a long way, headed by a couple bridgemen, kicked down by Michael Kanta. That shot is handled by Ilias Alkin. That was off the foot of Jackson Robinson. Number 10, Robinson has 7 goals on the season for Morris Knolls. There are multiple players on each of these teams who are dangerous. We should be in for a good one today. Here we have a bridgeman fighting for it. Goes out of play off of him. It'll be thrown in by number 16, Robert Genoble, on Morris Knolls. Good defense there by Fort Lee. Nothing really happening there for the Golden Eagles, and Ilias Alkin will handle. Headed away by a bridgeman. Headed down by a Golden Eagle, and it goes safely out of play. Alkin was there to make sure it did. Couple good opportunities here in the early going for Morris Knolls. We remain scoreless, not quite 7 minutes into this one. Off the left foot of Alkin, that goes over Nitkin's head. Morris Knolls will try to send it the other way, but it goes out of play. Thrown in here by Fort Lee. This is Landon Kaplan battling for it. Looking for Nitkin, but the Golden Eagles will send it the other way. Headed down by Michael Conte. Pass ahead for Nitkin, running down the sideline. Nitkin battling a defender. Passes it to Kaplan, and it is knocked out of play again. Sent towards goal. Header opportunity. Fort Lee scores. And guess who? It's Lucian Yu, the Fort Lee leading goal scorer. His 16th of the year, and it's 1-0 Fort Lee. 7 minutes and 53 seconds into this one. Almost coming out of nowhere, Lucian Yu and the Bridgemen have a 1-goal lead. They're looking for more here. Goes out of play off of Morris Knolls. Looking for Yu again. After scoring a goal on the header, Lucian Yu with some fancy footwork. He is technically going the wrong way. Looked for a teammate. Gave it to the Golden Eagles. Long pass ahead. Looking for Priestner. Battling a Bridgeman in the corner. Good play there by Fort Lee. That was Conte. It'll be thrown in by Morris Knolls, who now trails by 1. Obviously, getting the first goal is huge. Fort Lee, not only have they won 3 in a row, they're coming off of 3 straight shutout victories. They have not allowed a goal since a 4-1 loss against Wallington back on October 16th. Ball bouncing around. Who's going to control it? Morris Knolls, but it'll be outside the box. Ball leaks out. Nitkin, the lone Bridgeman, chasing after it. He's not going to get there. Goes out of play, and it'll be thrown in by Morris Knolls as we're about 10 minutes into this one. 1-0 Fort Lee on Lucian Yu's team-leading 16th goal of the year. Once again, Priestner can't quite make anything happen there. He will not get credit for a shot. And Ilias Alkin will look to get the Bridgemen going again as they lead 1-0, a little more than 10 minutes into this one. That was actually off the foot of a Golden Eagle. Priestner is chasing after it again. Going to get sent the wrong way, and now it is out of play. I believe that was off of Fort Lee. No, off of Morris Knolls. So it'll be a throw-in for Demba Main's squad. Last year, Fort Lee lost in the first round of the NJSIAA tournament. They were the road team, and they lost at Ramapo 5-0. So looking to go further this year than they did last year. Thrown in by Fort Lee, but now it's Priestner heading the other way for the Golden Eagles. Lead pass for Anthony Delgado. Little too far out ahead of him. Delgado right in Ilias Alkin's face, and Alkin will just pick it up and roll it along to his teammate safely. Long pass ahead for Nitkin, might be too far out of his reach, and it is. Landon Kaplan, looking for his teammate, Grant Kang, gets it to him. Fort Lee trying to make something happen here. They pass it to Lucian Yu, and his shot is not going to go close to the net. Nitkin chased after it, but it goes out of play. That throw-in was headed down by Kaplan. Conte trying to get the Bridgemen going the other way. Both teams fighting for it around midfield. And Kaplan has it now for the Bridgemen. Long pass ahead for Lucian Yu. He has it now. Good defense there by Robert Ginobili of Morris Knolls. Does go out of play off of Ginobili, so a throw-in for Fort Lee. The Bridgemen looking to build on their 1-goal lead. A header, another header, and it looks like Morris Knolls will control. Oh no, sloppy pass. Kaplan could not quite get to it. That was number 8, Brian Boca, passing it ahead to a teammate. Anthony Delgado with it now. Sharp angle try, and they score. .26:32 remaining in the first half. Delgado will pick up his 10th assist of the season. And give number 10, Jackson Robinson, his 8th goal of the year. First goal Fort Lee has allowed since October 16th. Jackson Robinson now with 8 goals on the year. This is a lead pass for Nitkin. Has it, battling multiple Golden Eagles. Now to another Bridgeman. Great save by Diasti. Ball stayed low on him. He stayed low with it. Now a long pass ahead for Delgado, out of his reach, and Alkin handles. Great pass by Delgado, fantastic shot into the right upper corner for Robinson. Kaplan was after that one for Fort Lee. It winds up out of play as we are not quite 15 minutes into this one. A whistle as a Bridgman was knocked down by Brian Boca. So Lucian Yu with his 16th of the year. Jackson Robinson with his 8th of the year. Give Anthony Delgado his 10th assist for the Golden Eagles. Now we have Grant Kang here for the Bridgman. Kang came into this one, leading Fort Lee in assists on the season. Diasti is there, and he's got it. Nitkin, maybe half a step too late. Good play by the Morris Knolls goalkeeper. Off his left foot. That's a booming kick. Fort Lee trying to control, and it looks like they will. Landon Kaplan surrounded by Golden Eagles. It goes out of play. Off of them, a throw in for Fort Lee. Looking for Yu. They don't quite get it to him, but Nitkin has it. Good physical play here. Nitkin will lose that battle. Kaplan joins the fight, and it goes out of play off of Boca. Here's Nitkin with it again, looking for Kaplan, who keeps it in play. Kaplan trying to split defenders. And now it goes out of bounds. So Diasti has it now. This has been an exciting, physical, and fast-paced soccer match. We're already 17 minutes in, tied at 1. This is Kaplan with it, looking for Lucian Yu. Takes a big hop, and Diasti is there. Yu was right in front of his face, and giving chase on defense was Ginobili for the Golden Eagles. Ball finally lands here. This is Boca with it. Now here's the goal scorer, Jackson Robinson. Gets it off. They're not quite in the box, and they lose it. Fort Lee takes over. Grant Kang's pass is intercepted, but Lucian Yu is there. He has Nitkin. Nitkin has room to run. Emmanuel Nitkin. Great save by Diasti. Header attempt, no good. Just over Lucian Yu's head. And I mean just over his head. We remain tied at 1. Good play there by Michael Conte with multiple Golden Eagles in the area. Here's Priestner. Little bit of a wild shot there on a hop. Ilias Alkin makes what I think should go down as a save. An easy one. Both teams fighting for it around midfield. Looks like it'll be controlled here by the Golden Eagles. That pass did not get to Boca. And that pass did not get to Nitkin. Becht fighting for it here. His teammate Priestner has it. Back to Becht, and he loses it. Hayden Coate, number 4, battling for it. Now his teammate Robinson loses it. Fort Lee controls here. Pass ahead for Nitkin. Offsides, offsides. Maybe a step and a half past the defensive line for Morris Knolls. Almost exactly halfway through the first half. Morris Knolls won, Fort Lee won here in the first round of the NJSIAA tournament. First time hosting a state playoff game in more than half a decade for Demba Maine's Bridgman. Nitkin after it once again. Out of play off of who? Off DiCongilio. It'll be a throw-in for Fort Lee. And it looks like it'll be Nathan Vagodner, number 4, throwing in for the Bridgman. Over the head of Boca, looking for Kaplan, doesn't get it to him, but it goes out of play off the foot of DiCongilio. So not much will change there. Thrown back in for Fort Lee, but Nitkin lost it. Kang after it. He's not going to get there. Anthony Delgado with an assist today. Passes it across the pitch. And now this is number 9, Liam Coviello with it. To Boca. To Delgado. The dangerous Delgado through a Bridgman's legs. But Fort Lee takes over. Looking for Nitkin. Doesn't get to him. Stays in play. And here's Boca with it. Weird looking play there. Fort Lee briefly takes over. Delgado. Good pass. The pass back to him didn't reach him. Not a ton of great opportunities in the last little while, but still good action. Nitkin takes it away. No offsides here. A couple defenders there. And good defense by Morris Knolls. The Golden Eagles head the other way. Long centering and lead pass. Delgado settles down. Battling a defender. Delgado on a hop that goes to Alkin. From my angle, it almost looked like that hit Vagodner on the way by. Alkin was able to handle it relatively easily. And Fort Lee playing a little bit of a dangerous game here. But now Alkin looks for Kaplan. Doesn't get to him. Headed out of play by DiCongilio. Who's going to throw in here? Fort Lee. Vagodner and Lucian Yu, I should say. High in the air off the foot of Vagodner. Kaplan trying to settle down. And another throw-in for Fort Lee as it went off Kevin Doyle. Afternoon turning into early evening here. Still over 16 minutes to go in the first half here at the Sugarman Sport Complex. Gordon Cheng settles down. Kang passes back to Conte. Conte, what a pass for Lucian Yu. One man to beat. Yu can't get around Diasti. What a play by Angelo Diasti. Nitkin was fighting for it. A Golden Eagle went down, and he gets a whistle. That was number 4, Hayden Coate. Maybe the best play of the day so far by the Morris Knolls goalie. Diasti with a fantastic save. Now sends it the other way. Remember, Diasti does have 1 assist on the season. Nothing doing there. Here is Nitkin with it. Looking for Yu. Gets past one player, not the other. Oh, Yu has it. Yu is knocked down, and his shot goes out of play. 2 players went down there. And we have a brief official timeout with 15 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first half. Crowd still buzzing following that brilliant save by Diasti to rob Lucian Yu and keep us tied. Clock starts running again. And we almost immediately get another whistle. Diasti and Morris Knolls will have to do it again. Second time's the charm. Both teams fighting for it. And Nitkin has it again. Did that stay in play? It actually might have, but we get a whistle. So an opportunity here for Morris Knolls with less than 15 minutes to go now in the first half. Both teams set up. Headed up in the air multiple times. And Nitkin and the Bridgeman will come away with it. Nitkin blows by DiCongilio. DiCongilio gets back in the play and forces it out of bounds. Good play there by number 21 for Morris Knolls. Still Fort Lee ball, and now it's not. Kaplan loses it, and it'll be thrown in by Morris Knolls. Not Boca, but by DiCongilio. And we'll get another throw in. Things breaking down and slowing down a little bit as we get later on in the first half. Almost feels like the calm before the storm, or after the storm. Again, a fantastic save by Diasti, keeping us tied at 1. Boca to throw in now. Doesn't get to his intended target. Nitkin to Yu, who gets spun around. Yu gets it to a teammate. Shot. Another save by Diasti. Now Morris Knolls heading the other way with it. Ill-advised pass there, but it is launched in the opposite direction, and so Morris Knolls will still control here. Yu is after it. He gets bumped. Yu has it. Yu looking for Nitkin. Nitkin in the box. Great save, Diasti. He's unconscious right now. Ball goes out of play off Fort Lee. Still more than a dozen minutes to go just in the first half. A Golden Eagle goes down. There were 2 Bridgemen in the area. We do get a whistle. That was Priestner going down. And now both teams will set up. That goes over the top post of the goal. That was not Priestner, but that was Delgado doing the honors there. And now Delgado will get a corner kick. The Morris Knolls leading goal scorer. It's up in the air. It's headed in the wrong direction by Morris Knolls. Still trying to control, but Fort Lee wins that battle. DiCongilio can kind of take his time here and pass it along to a teammate. Becht lost it there. The Bridgman in the area sends it out of play, and so it'll be another corner kick for Morris Knolls. It will not be Becht handling the corner kick, but it will be Robinson, the goal scorer today, for Morris Knolls. Robinson. Is that going to make it out of play? Yes, it will. Conte gave chase, but could not get there. It was off of Fort Lee. Ginobili to throw in. A half hour gone by here in the first half. Headed down by Fort Lee. Popped up in the air by another Bridgman. Nitkin chasing after it. Morris Knolls is still trying to control here. Fort Lee comes away with it, but Diasti will just handle and get his team started again. Nice play by Delgado. Wants the pass back. It doesn't get to him. Multiple players fighting for it near the right sideline. Delgado chasing after it somehow. Beats two Bridgman. Sharp angle try. Gets to the box and is knocked away by a member of Fort Lee. Morris Knolls still controlling as they have for much of the last 5 or 10 minutes here. Priestner's pass for Becht goes out of play. And now we will have a substitution made by Mike Mugavero. Coate will sit, and Ilias Alkin will get Fort Lee started. Number 11, Diogo Cassano, has stepped onto the pitch for Morris Knolls. This will stay in play. Delgado looking for Priestner. Almost had him. Alkin met him outside the net, and we get a whistle. A great play by the Fort Lee goalkeeper. So we remain tied at 1. Alkin sending Nitkin and Kaplan after this one. Kaplan knocked out of play by Boca. Vigodner to throw in. This is Kaplan with it, and we get a whistle. Can't imagine he was offside there. I did not see what the whistle was, but Morris Knolls will head the other way with it. Fort Lee immediately regains control. Vigadner was looking for Kaplan, but the ball was knocked out of play. That went, I think, off of Robinson. So Fort Lee gets a throw in. Morris Knolls controls. That pass goes off of Grant Kang and out of play. So it's going to be Boca throwing in for Morris Knolls. Throws it right to Abridgman. Long pass ahead, looking for Nitkin. Gets by him and will just roll safely into the waiting arms of Diasti. Sends a booming kick high into the air. A bounce, a header by Priestner, and Alkin will handle. About 5.5 remaining in the first half. A couple players missed header attempts there. This is out of play. Yu chasing after it along with Coviello for Morris Knolls. Priestner. Good defense by Conte. Now it's Boca battling Kaplan. No whistle. We play on, and that ball is going to be gone for a while. Up over the stands, I think up over the fencing, actually. Obviously, we have more than one soccer ball here. So we will play on. It's a throw-in for Vigadner and the Bridgeman. Yu trying to control. Gets it to Kang. Almost loses it. Nitkin with it now. Kaplan goes down. No whistle. Still no whistle as Congilio knocked Kaplan down. It will be Fort Lee ball. They throw it into Nitkin. Tries to get by his defender. He has two players in front of him. Fighting for it in the corner. And Morris Knolls will take over. Morris Knolls is also going to make a substitution. Priestner will get a breather, and it looks like he's going to be replaced by Coate, who himself just got a quick breather. Diasti from inside the box. Past midfield. Delgado settles it down. Boca's pass, intercepted. Delgado's pass, off Fort Lee and out of play. Still plenty of time here in the first half for the Golden Eagles. Conte boots it out of play. Boca to throw in again. Not sure where he can go to get it away from Fort Lee's defense. Robinson. That stays in play, and Fort Lee sends it the other way. Nitkin couldn't get to it. One of his teammates does. Long pass ahead. Nitkin chasing after it. And we get a whistle. Just over 2 minutes to play in the half. Diasti will look to make something happen for Morris Knolls. Conte heads it the wrong way. Alkin comes out of his net. Delgado's shot. Nice play by a Fort Lee defender. That was ticketed for the goal. This pass, saved by Alkin. That was a shot towards net. Alkin makes the save. Morris Knolls gets a corner kick opportunity out of it. They go quickly here. About a minute 40 left in the half. And it looks like Fort Lee is going to survive that rush by Morris Knolls. Nitkin after it. Yu gets in the play. 2-on-1 action. Nitkin's pass is intercepted. Fort Lee still controls. Nitkin slowing down. Trying to speed up now. Nitkin sends it towards net, and it goes safely out of play for Morris Knolls. We remain tied at 1 with just over a minute to play in the first half. What an exciting round 1 of the NJSIAA tournament. We still have the entire second half to go as well. Robinson battling a couple bridgemen. He goes down, and we get a whistle. That was Conte knocking him down. Morris Knolls doesn't want to waste any time. Might be the last opportunity here for Fort Lee. Headed nicely by a Golden Eagle to his goalkeeper. Diasti rolls it along to a teammate. Under 30 seconds to play in the half. And it looks like we are going to go into the second half tied at 1. That one stayed in play, though. Centering try is headed away by a Bridgman. And we will, in fact, be tied at 1 after 40 minutes here at the Dr. Allen W. Sugarman Sports Complex. Lucian Yu gave Fort Lee the lead. Jackson Robinson tied it for Morris Knolls. Fantastic play in net by Diasti and Alkin for Fort Lee. Don't go anywhere. The second half is coming up in under 10 minutes. Tommy Aquilina back here with you at the Sugarman Sport Complex here in Fort Lee. Not a lot of time to breathe in that first half, so let's go with the sponsor read. Please support our Athletic Booster Club sponsors for the Fort Lee 2025-26 school year. The Fort Lee PBA, Cafaso's Fairway Market, The Finest Construction, the Fort Lee Soccer Club, Rusin and Doru Electric, the Bridgman Basketball Camp, the Fort Lee VFW, Visions Federal Credit Union, It's Greek to Me, Connect One Bank, the Bergen Black Sox, Senator Builders, UCS Strength and Speed, the Collective Salon, and the Fort Lee Education Association. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you to the Fort Lee students. Some really good seasons this year. The Fort Lee football team just wrapped up their first 9-0 season ever. Won 2 playoff games and went a perfect 7-0, I believe. They were undefeated in division, 9-0 on the season. The Fort Lee boys soccer team playing, I guess we would say, not today, but tonight now. Looking to win a state playoff game as they host a state playoff game for the first time in over half a decade. Fort Lee hosting Morris Knolls here. The teams have switched sides of the pitch, so you'll see Fort Lee going from left to right. Morris Knolls will start with the ball here in the second half, and they'll go right to left. Also, a programming note, that goal in the first half was scored for Fort Lee by Ishan Talapian. Not number 10, but number 16. Lucian Yu still having a great season, but it was Talapian who gave Fort Lee the 1-0 lead. Obviously, the game was later tied. Talapian now with 5 goals on the season. 12 total points, and we're underway here in the second half. Again, we have 40 minutes of action. Obviously, we're tied, and there has to be a winner in this one. So overtime is on the table, but we're a ways away from that. We're going to have a throw-in here, not by 16 for Fort Lee, but by 16 for Morris Knolls. That's Robert Ginobili. Launches it towards net. Ball bouncing around here. Fort Lee gets it out of the box, and we get a whistle. So Ishan Talapian scoring his 5th goal of the year at the 7:53 mark in the first half. At the 13:28 mark, Jackson Robinson tied it. That was his 8th goal of the year. We've had a lot of exciting moments since then, but we remain tied at 1. Long pass is kicked away by a member of Fort Lee. I believe that was Landon Kaplan knocking away that pass off the foot of number 4, Hayden Coate. Ball goes out of play. And slowly making his way over to the sideline is number 16, again for Morris Knolls, Robert Ginobili. A couple minutes gone by here in the second half. Ginobili to throw in. Headed the wrong direction, back to Ginobili. Neither team able to settle it here. Brian Boca for Morris Knolls. That shot, really a pass, I guess, off of a Bridgman and out of play. And Ginobili will get back in position. Backing way up. What a throw. Right to Alkin. Not the first time tonight Alkin has handled it off the sideline without the ball bouncing or being knocked away. Nitkin fighting for it here, battling multiple Golden Eagles, looking for Lucian Yu, and he will send it safely to Diasti. Diasti's save right in front of his net on, I'm almost positive it was Yu, is maybe the play of the match so far. Elias Alkin has played well for Fort Lee, and goals by Ishan Talapian and Jackson Robinson. Again, this is the 8-9 game in the NJSIAA tournament. Section 1, Group 3, Round 1. Genoble getting ready to launch this one all the way to New York State again. This is a shot that goes in. Brian Boca. How did he put that in? Just his second goal of the year. And 3 minutes and 59 seconds into the second half, Morris Knolls takes the lead for the first time today. That was a fantastic play. Both Morris Knolls goals, say that 5 times fast, have been highlight reel plays. Robinson with the fantastic pass from Anthony Delgado, and I have no idea how Boca put that in the left corner of the goal, just over Elias Alkin's head. So now the Bridgemen trail for the first time today, and for the first time in a long time. They went 3 straight matches without allowing a goal. Now their 3-game win streak is in jeopardy. Their season is in jeopardy at this point. Conte battling a Golden Eagle. That's Delgado. Delgado went down but stayed in the play. Both teams battling for it here. Yu is unable to get to that one. He actually might have been getting his arm tugged on by Liam Coviello, I should say. If it was only briefly. Both teams are still battling for it. Delgado has it. Gets it to a teammate. Long pass by Coate. And we get a whistle before it can be settled down by Coate's teammate. That was Boca. Just 1 goal on the season coming into play today. Boca with one of the biggest goals of the year for Morris Knolls. He now has 2 goals and 6 points on the season. So now the pressure is on Fort Lee to tie this one up. Grant Kang goes down. Michael Conte, long pass ahead for a teammate. Boca takes it away. What a 3 minutes or so it's been here for Boca. Long pass ahead for Delgado. Popped in the air by Fort Lee. Priestner is battling for it now. Gets it to his teammate Robinson. He gets it off to Delgado. Delgado looking for Priestner, and Conte takes it away. Michael Conte sends it out of bounds. So Morris Knolls will keep their feet on the gas pedal here. And once again, out of play, off of Fort Lee. Boca to throw in. Stays in play. Robinson, knocked away by Conte. Popped high in the air by a member of Fort Lee. Bounces without being touched. Now Lucian Yu tries to settle it. Gets it back to Kang. Kang sending Emmanuel Nitkin on his way. Nitkin has been in the middle of the action all match for Fort Lee. He goes down. DiCongilio rather, loses it. Back to Fort Lee. Centering pass to Nitkin. Nitkin spins, shoots. Nothing doing there. Delgado and the Golden Eagles go the other way. Looking for Priestner. That pass does not get to him, but it winds up back with Delgado. Now taken by Yurick Blanco. I believe that's the first time we've mentioned his name today. Kang will settle it down for the Bridgeman. Pass ahead for Nitkin. Now Yu and Blanco battling for it for Fort Lee. Yu gets it to Kang. Now Yu sending Nitkin on his way. Heads it over Diasty's head. Multiple defenders were there, though, for Morris Knolls. Becht sending DiCongilio on his way. He's stopped short by a Bridgeman. Good action here in the second half. Knocked out of play by Fort Lee. Ginobili to throw in again in a second. About 9 minutes gone by here in the second half. Boca's goal has given the Golden Eagles a 2-1 lead. Ginobili sends that one out of play. Demba Main is going to make a substitution here. And he's going to take out his goal scorer. Before this Fort Lee throw-in, Talapian will sit in favor of number 11, Woo Jin Chun. Blanco and Chun battling for it. Blanco, that pass is probably going to go out of play, and it will. Just under 30 minutes remaining in this one. Headed behind him by Priestner. DiCongilio. Sent the other way by Fort Lee. Is it going to stay in play? Yes, it will, but only briefly. Off of Coat, Karem Ozcan to throw in for Fort Lee. Nitkin is knocked down, and he does get a whistle. Fort Lee going to try to keep the pace picked up here. It'll be Michael Conte doing the honors. The Fort Lee defenseman. That's headed high in the air. Diasty is down, headed down. And Morris Knolls survives. Kang tried to settle it down. Priestner is hounding him. Kang does have it. His pass gets sent right back to him. And indeed, Morris Knolls does survive. Out of play. Thrown in by Fort Lee. I don't even think that made it in play. Regardless of what exactly happened, it'll be Morris Knolls' ball. DiCongilio will throw in. Looking for Delgado. And it goes out of play again. So Fort Lee ball. And once again, it'll be Morris Knolls ball. Now playing underneath the bright lights on a Tuesday, underneath a full moon. They say crazy things happen under a full moon. Demba Main hoping that's true for his squad tonight as they look to erase this 1-goal deficit. Here is Nitkin with it. No, he loses it. Ginobili sends it the other way. Vigadner looking for a teammate. That goes out of play. Off who? Off Morris Knolls. Thrown in by Fort Lee. Who did it go off of that time? They're going to say Fort Lee ball and Fort Lee corner kick. And before this corner kick, Demba Main will make a substitution. I believe he is sending Talapian back out there. Corner kick is up. And we get a whistle. Blanco tried to settle it down, but the whistle blew that play dead. About 14 minutes down, 26 minutes remaining here in the second half. Diasti to Becht. Delgado has it now. Conte couldn't take it away from him. Fort Lee trying to go on the offense here. That pass does not reach its intended target. That was either Talapian or you. Now sent the other way, and Ilias Alkin will handle it. Alkin boots this one high in the air. And we have a whistle. That was out of play off Morris Knolls. So Ozcan to throw in for Fort Lee. Somehow Nitkin comes away with that one. Nitkin with the left foot. Diasti goes down to make the save. Might not have been necessary, but obviously you'd rather be safe than sorry here in a state game. The clock has stopped with 24:53 because a member of Morris Knolls is down. I believe that is Hayden Coate, who you'll notice has the brace on his right leg. Coate has made it to his feet. He's going to try to walk it off. And he's going to try to stay in this match as his team holds a 1-goal lead. Back underway now. Diasti is looking for Becht, and Becht loses it out of play. Ozcan to throw in quickly. Nitkin battling Coate and others. Delgado chasing after Conte. Conte keeps it in play. Nitkin can't handle it. Now Fort Lee has it. Priestner still hounding Bridgman. But Fort Lee does go the other way with it. Kang heading it over the head of the taller player, Robinson. Kang and Robinson still doing battle, and Robinson wins this round. Looking for Becht, it's over his head, stays in play. Becht can't get around Ozcan. Knocked out of play by Ginobili. Blanco immediately throws it back in. Kicked back to Nitkin. Nitkin has some room to play with. And Ginobili knocks it off of his foot. The Bridgman will get a throw in here. From the corner. Centering try. A header just wide of the net. That's the closest Fort Lee has come to putting the goal in the back of the net here, or the ball in the back of the net here in the second half. Diassi going to get his one shoe tied by a teammate before getting his team started again. They have not slowed down and played to protect this lead. They have stayed aggressive here with the 2-1 advantage. Another header by Kang. Coate and the Golden Eagles control. Coate to Priestner, to Becht from the corner. Becht headed away by a member of Fort Lee. Coate has it. Delgado battling two players. Delgado, great defensive play by Fort Lee. Long pass ahead. Does not get to its intended target. Ginobili sends it the other way for Morris Knolls. Here's Robinson with it. Sends it back to Coate. Coate, that one stays on the ground. Alkin makes the save. Ilias Alkin, that's high in the air. Nitkin, chasing after it, winning the battle. Nitkin gets past Ginobili. Nitkin wanted to get it to Talapian, he was unable to, but Grant Kang has it. Grant Kang trying to go around a defender. He gets it to Lucian Yu. Lucian Yu, saved by Diassi, can't handle it, falls right back on it with Talapian right there. Diassi launches it towards Becht. And now Morris Knolls once again will try to add to their lead, but on a couple hops, that'll go right to the Fort Lee goalkeeper. Alkin rolls it to Ozcan. Ozcan for Talapian, and it'll go the other way. So we'll slow things down here for a moment. We are about halfway through this second half. Boca's goal at the 3:59 mark is the difference so far. Priestner once again heads it behind himself, and it goes to Alkin, who will pick it up with the dangerous Delgado not that far away from him. Here's Landon Kaplan with it, getting it to a teammate. Yu lost it out of play with DiCongilio right there. Ball stays in bounds. Fort Lee stays with it. The Bridgman lost it. Boca looking for Becht, but on the fly, Alkin handles it, throws it past Becht to Ozcan. Ozcan, his pass is intercepted by Coate. Ozcan gets back in the play and knocks it out of play. Here's Priestner, surrounded by Bridgman. Knocked down by Conte, and we play on. Conte again. Kang chasing after it, but Morris Knolls will maintain possession. Delgado has it taken away by Lucian Yu. Yu sprints past Delgado. You to Talapian. Good defensive play there by Coviello. Talapian was looking for his second of the match. Instead, it goes out of play, and Fort Lee will get a corner kick opportunity. Only about 18 minutes remaining here in the second half, so every corner kick opportunity, really every possession at this point, is vital. Grant Kang, Fort Lee's leading assist man, headed down. Kang is the closest one to it. That's a little bit of a wild pass. Yu will settle it down. Yu, saved by Diasti. Angelo Diasti waits, now sends it towards Priester, but Fort Lee will quickly regain possession. Long pass ahead for Talapian. He shoots just over the head of Nitkin. Talapian was looking for the assist. Nitkin was looking for the header, and they could not connect. Under 17 to go. Abridgman steps in front. Blanco with it now. Gets it to a teammate. Here is Yu with it. Good defense by Di Congilio, and it goes out of play off Fort Lee. No, off Morris Knolls. It'll still be Fort Lee ball, and the Bridgemen will get a throw-in with a little over 16 minutes remaining in the second half. They get a shot off. Honestly, a difficult one to handle, but Diasti does handle it. Now launches it towards Becht. Talapian trying to take it away from him, but Becht got the pass off. Robinson steps around Kaplan, but passes it to nobody. Out of play. Fort Lee ball. Off of Yu, and so Morris Knolls will get a throw in. The Golden Eagles looking to hold on to their lead. This would be a comeback victory as Fort Lee scored first. Boca, who scored that go-ahead goal, to throw in. Robinson trying to split Bridgman and get it to Delgado. Can't quite get it to him. This is Nitkin with it. Battling three different Golden Eagles. And winning the battle. Gets it to Yu. Lucian Yu towards the center of the pitch. His shot is knocked down. And then Yu is knocked down. We get a whistle. And we get a yellow card. That'll be assigned to Ginobili, an important defenseman for Morris Knolls. Ginobili will have to leave the pitch. Best opportunity yet here in the second half for Fort Lee. And Nitkin, who has been in the middle of the action all match long for Demba Maine, will get the opportunity as Morris Knolls sets up their line in front of him. When Nitkin takes this shot, we'll have 14:41 remaining in the second half. It's not a free kick. Whistle blows. Clock starts. Nitkin shoots and scores! Emmanuel Nitkin knots this one up at 2. It almost felt like he was destined to get one at some point in this match, and Emmanuel Nitkin ties us up at 2 with 14:39 remaining. His 6th goal of the year. One goal for each team in the first half, now one goal for each team in the second half. Brand new soccer match here at the Dr. Allen W. Sugarman Sports Complex. Ilias Alkin trying to get it back to Nitkin. Nitkin sends it back to a teammate who loses it out of play. What a job by that front line for Fort Lee. Talapian with a goal. Lucian Yu gets knocked down. That leads to Emmanuel Nitkin getting an opportunity to score, and he does. Goal number 6 on the year for Emmanuel Nitkin. None bigger. Ozcan. Ozcan again. And now Blanco will settle down and head the other way with it. Yurick Blanco, lead pass for Nitkin, but Diasti is there. Can't take anything away from Diasti. He's had a fantastic match today. Only beat twice, once by Talapian, once by Nitkin, and we get a whistle. Not a ton of contact there between Ozcan and Delgado, but Morris Knolls, leading goal scorer, did go down. Jackson Robinson is going to have to back up about 5 yards. It'll be Becht doing the honors here for Morris Knolls. Headed away by Conte. 2 players battling in the corner. Out of play. Off Fort Lee. Becht will make his way to the corner for this corner kick. Mike Mugavero will make a substitution. Coate will sit. Ginobili, who does have a yellow card, will come back in. Becht in the corner. Little 2-man action. Then we get a shot over the net. Interesting play there by Morris Knolls. It does not work out. We remain tied at 2, about 11 and a half minutes remaining here in the second half. Ilias Alkin. Nitkin heads it the other way. Wow, that Golden Eagle got up to head that the other way, but Fort Lee does regain control. Grant Kang looking for Talapian. 3 players collide, and it goes in before the net is moved. Is it going to count? Yes, it is. Ishan Talapian put Fort Lee up 1-0. Now, with 11:05 remaining in the second half, he puts Fort Lee up 3-2. 3 players collided. 2 of them on Morris Knolls went down. Diasti and Ginobili could not stop the ball from squeaking into the net. Ishan Talapian, his 2nd goal of the match, his 6th goal of the season. Fort Lee leads 3-2. Okay, we'll take a breather and do a sponsor read here. Thank you to all of our Athletic Booster Club sponsors here for the 2025-26 school year. They are the Fort Lee PBA, Cafaso's Fairway Market, The Finest Construction, the Fort Lee Soccer Club, Rusin and Doru Electric, the Bridgman Basketball Camp, the Fort Lee VFW, Visions Federal Credit Union, It's Greek to Me, Connect One Bank, the Bergen Black Sox, Senator Builders, UCS Strength and Speed, the Collective Salon, and the Fort Lee Education Association. Thank you to all of our sponsors. And thank you for tuning in here on a Tuesday night, though I imagine if you are tuned in, you're quite happy about it. The Bridgmen took a 1-0 lead in the first half. They went down 2-1, and in less than 5 minutes here in the second half, they've tied it. Emmanuel Nitkin's 6th goal of the year, and Ishan Talapian's 6th of the year and 2nd of the match has put the Bridgmen up 3-2. Diasti came out of his goal to meet Talapian. All three of the players did, in fact, meet. They collided. Diasti went down. Talapian was not going to be able to get to it, but the ball leaked into the goal. Ginobili was unable to get there, and as he attempted to reach the ball, he went down, hit the one goal post, but the ball had already gone in. So the goal counts. Ginobili is still down. Diasti has gotten up, and we also have a new goalkeeper for Mike Mugavero's squad. Diasti has made his way to the sideline. And we should now have Kyle Boland in net for Morris Knolls. According to NJ.com, Diasti, Kyle Boland, and Coate have played at least part of one game in goal this season. Just about set to restart play. And here we go. Final 11 minutes and 5 seconds in the second half. Fort Lee now leads 3-2. 2 unanswered goals for the Bridgmen, and all the pressure is on Morris Knolls here. Lead pass does not reach its intended target. Here is Nitkin with it, trying to get past Di Congilio. He cannot. Knocked out of play by Fort Lee. We'll get a throw in here by Becht. Final 10 minutes and change here in the second half. Becht throws it in, headed away by a Bridgman. Popped in the air. And Morris Knolls will not control as it is sent out of play by Boca. His goal put Morris Knolls up 2-1. Emmanuel Nitkin tied it, and Ishan Talapian gave Fort Lee the lead. Also inadvertently knocked Diasti and Ginobili out of this one. Fort Lee trying to add to their lead. First time Kyle Boland is tested. He looks for a teammate. Karem Ozcan battling Becht. Goes out of play. Off Becht. Ozcan looking to throw in. For Uric Blanco. Out of play. Off Blanco. Delgado's pass is taken away by Blanco. Uric Blanco looking for Nitkin. Nitkin past the defenders and the goalie. Sharp angle try. Nitkin. Fort Lee scores. Nitkin gets the pass off. Fort Lee leads 4-2. Under 9 minutes to play. They're celebrating here at the Sugarman Sport Complex. Demba Maine's Bridgemen have scored 3 unanswered here in the second half. (4-2) Bridgemen, 8:47 to play. A year ago, after going 9-7-2 on the year, or I guess they went 9-7-2 overall, Fort Lee lost 5-0 to Ramapo in the first round of this NJSIAA tournament. They're now less than 9 minutes away from a win as the host team here in the first round of the tournament. Jefferson Zapata passes it back to a teammate. Becht trying to handle it with Blanco playing defense. And Blanco knocks him down. We get a whistle. Oh, I didn't think that was that much there, but a yellow card is assigned to Blanco. So he'll have to sit. The clock stops with 8 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the second half. And this is a critical opportunity for Morris Knolls. They now need 2 goals in less than 9 minutes just to force extra time. Becht sends it towards net. Alkin is there, can't handle, no one handles, and Fort Lee goes the other way with it. Conte battling Coate. Conte passing it to Diasti, who has come back on the pitch. So Diasti appears okay. He's allowed 3 of the 4 goals. He's back in there. Nitkin fighting with Zapata. Landon Kaplan. That squeaks through and gets to Diasti. A Bridgeman goes down. Here's DiCongilio with it for Morris Knolls. Looking for Delgado. Finds Fort Lee. This will go out of play, and Fort Lee will get a throw-in. Every second that Fort Lee has the ball is a second closer to the end of Morris Knolls' season. Sent back to Diasti. Zapata looking for Becht. Ozcan sends it out of play, so obviously that's off of Fort Lee. But precious seconds will tick off the clock. It'll be a corner kick for Morris Knolls. Morris Knolls made it to the quarter-final round of the Bergen County tournament. They're about 6 minutes away from losing in the first round of the state tournament. Nothing comes of that corner kick, and Fort Lee will take over. Nitkin with what is set to be the game-winning goal. Arguably the best play he made today came on his assist, which put Fort Lee up 4-2. Now Nitkin is sent on his way. Diasti playing way out of his net. Looking for a teammate. Morris Knolls needs a miracle at this point. Taken away by Talapian. Gets it off to you. Lucian Yu, great save, Diasti. Another great save, Diasti. Nitkin was just waiting for the rebound, but Diasti made another great save. So it remains a 2-goal advantage for the Bridgemen, now with under 5 minutes to play. Delgado, the leading goal scorer for the Golden Eagles, their only player in double digits in goals. It's going to be his teammate as he stands pat. Ball bouncing around, and it will wind up out of play. Beck's running over there to get Morris Knolls going again as quickly as possible. That shot is sent wide of the net. That was Coviello. Alkins handles it. Priestner going to put pressure on Alkins, and he slows things down. Ball goes over Kaplan's head, but no problem for him because it's Fort Lee ball. And also the Bridgemen are in no rush here. The only rush they're in is to get the final 3.5 minutes over with. Throw in for Nitkin. Emmanuel Nitkin sheds a player, shoots, out of play. Fort Lee looking for a 4th consecutive win. The Bridgemen won their division. They've now hosted matches in the Bergen County tournament and the state tournament. Looking to win in the first round of the state tournament as Talapian chases after this pass. Battling 2 players. Talapian. What a save by Diasti. One more great one for him. The Bridgemen set to be 8-2 here at home on the season and advance to the second round of the state tournament. And this would put them 10 games over 500 at 13-3. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Contest sends this one out of play with Priestner giving chase. Clock is stopped with 1:53 remaining in the second half. Morris Knolls will have a corner kick opportunity here. You'll also notice Demba Main has made a substitution. Nitkin sits. Ball bounces around and will wind up safely out of play. Another corner kick opportunity. Alkin in the middle of the scrum, got past him, but a Bridgeman was there. We were that close to a 1-goal game. Ball still bouncing around. Delgado scores. This one's not over yet. Anthony Delgado, his team leading 14th of the year with 1:22 remaining in the second half. The Bridgemen now lead this one 4-3. Russell Kim on the pitch. He's the one who replaced Nitkin. Ball goes out of play. Obviously, the pressure is still on Morris Knolls here. Ball leaks out to Diasti. Just over a minute to go for Diasti. That's one of his worst kicks of the night. Pops up high in the air. And we did get a whistle. Clock stops with exactly 60 seconds remaining in the second half. Russell Kim will come back off. Emmanuel Nitkin will come back on. 1 minute remaining. 1-goal lead for the Bridgemen. No matter what happens, give credit to the Golden Eagles for not going quietly into the night. Headed by Nitkin in the wrong direction. Sent backwards again, but Alkin is there to quiet things down. Less than 50 seconds remaining. Alkin sends it high in the air. Headed in the wrong direction. Diasti chasing after it. So is Nitkin. Diasti gets to it and sends it out of play. A throw-in for Fort Lee with under half a minute remaining. Nitkin battling for it in the corner. Under 20 seconds on the clock. Ball goes out of play. Not much time for Morris Knolls to do anything here. Diasti sends the ball on its way, but we've hit triple zeros. The Fort Lee Bridgemen, in comeback fashion, win the first round of the NJSIAA tournament match over Morris Knolls by a final score of 4-3. Trailing 2-1 with less than 20 minutes remaining, Fort Lee scores 3 unanswered, and Anthony Delgado's late goal is not enough. Demba Maine's Bridgemen have won 4 in a row, none bigger than this one. They're 13-3 on the year, and their 2025 season will continue in round 2 of the New Jersey State Tournament. What a thriller here at the Sugarman Sport Complex. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Fort Lee Athletic Director Michael Raftery and everyone else who makes these streams possible. The fall season has bled into the winter, and the Fort Lee Bridgemen are not done. Again, Demba Maine's squad beats Morris Knolls by a final score of 4-3. My name is Tommy Aquilina. Thank you so much for tuning in to these Fort Lee Athletics Bridgemen streams all year long. Want to thank our sponsors. Want to thank you for tuning in. Again, the Fort Lee Bridgemen boys soccer team 4, Morris Knolls 3. We will see you next time, and we will see Fort Lee in the second round of the state tournament. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. So long.